Welcome back, Goddess, Divine Feminine, Being Woman, tuning into this Venus message. This is going to be a very initiative message. It's highly magnetic, and you will leave here from this message with such clarity and conviction about that which you are meant to creatively express out into the world and magnetize that which God has intended for you in the material as an automatic response to your stepping out on faith and on conviction. So, what I was hearing earlier today with this upcoming Sagittarius full moon on the 31st, and that being in such a prominent place, powerful place in my personal chart, was step out on faith and proceed forward with your endeavors that God, that divine has called for you to do, has assigned for you to do. And continue to ignore the noise. And some of it is not necessarily noise, but it is perceived that way as it pertains to, I'm hearing like God's ruthless orders, like God's orders, divine's orders for you and your legacy, which is what you are currently building, which is what I am currently building. We're on a mission, and we're on the mission together. There is a collective of us, and this is truly what it means to be in your divine feminine energy, embodiment, and essence. And it's not just being kind and peaceful and calm and in a flow. It is also that you recognize that you have a responsibility through your personal power expressed through as your creative endeavors, your business, that job opportunity that you have decided to step out on faith and go for. Every single thing that God has, your soul has, and divine has called for you to do, that's been placed and planted in you to express and to desire, by the way, you have a responsibility that comes with that. And it is, along the way to that, and even as you receive, from those things, you'll start to receive from those things in the material, financially and through love and relationships and more opportunities, right, here in the physical world. But you have the responsibility to, what I'm hearing it as, is quiet the noise. I'm hearing the word ruthless, and it's about being ruthless with your time, with your energy, all right, and how you invest it. So it's not just about the places and the people, the faces that you put yourself in front of, right, physically here in this world, but also what you consume, because that's an investment of energy as well, online even. While you are building, right, this, and when you reach these pivotal points, or I'll say the next tier and the next tier and the next tier. Again, that word tier, T-I-E-R, the next level, the next level, the next level in what you are building, in your legacy, in your creative endeavors, in your business and its success. You have to carry on ruthlessly by limiting actually scrolling and looking at what everyone else is doing. You have to responsibly and ruthlessly proceed with your legacy and these endeavors by, again, it's coming through as quieting the noise. It's by not sharing so much about what it is that you are doing, but letting people see once you have done it, once you have put it out there, once it's complete, right? And this is a really big part of the bigger picture. Again, legacy. It's the bigger picture. It's the bigger vision. It's God's vision, divine's intention, and divine order over your life. So you are going to have to put out the things, launch the things, and study yourself. I'm hearing study yourself. Study, scroll on your own feed, rewatch the things that you made, the videos that you made and put out. Study yourself. We have the moon. Yeah, there's something about, I'm seeing the word limit again, and it's about not letting yourself with the moon here be so accessible. It's setting a boundary with yourself. I'm even hearing here. It's not giving, into the subconscious, behavior and habit of the scrolling and looking at, tuning into what everyone else is doing, creating, launching. That which you are meant to see and celebrate. There's something about you being cloaked. That's what it is with the moon here. But that which you are meant to see, that which you are meant to celebrate, that has been launched by others, created by others, put out by others, it won't be that you necessarily come across it, I'm hearing, because of a post. It's going to be that these are conversations that are happening around you, or that you are a part of when you meet someone in person, or you meet up with people in person at a gathering, or it's things that you hear about these things because you are a part of things that you intentionally invest your time and your energy and your presence into. But the reason why this is coming through about remaining a bit cloaked here, so again, there's a limitation to what you do share about your building process. With the moon here, it's meant to be hidden until it's launched, until it's ready, I'm hearing ready, set, go, until it's that. And so you're being cloaked, and then you're limiting how much of what you intentionally, look at, view of what others are doing is going to support you in your remaining anchored and aligned in such a, this clarity that you have creatively about the building of your legacy. It's going to support you in your remaining anchored into and aligned with, in such a flow of the bigger picture, the bigger vision. That's Sagittarius Jupiter energy here. It's going to support you in constantly having these light bulb moments go off where something clicks for you and gives you another idea of what to add to what it is that you have built and launched, how to expand it and increase, all right, what you've already done and received from doing and creating that and launching that. And when we are consuming that which others are doing, creating, what they're eating online and showing that they're eating, or how they're dressing, outfit of the day, or their opinions on things happening publicly, or when we're consuming all of that, it is actually and actively taking up a space inside of our inner reservoir. I'm hearing our inner reserves. And so we have to be so intentional about that which we are consuming, and aka studying. Something else that was coming through earlier was to study. And when I say study, I'm talking about what you're consuming online, what you're reading. All right, that is what you're taking in that's outside of you. You're studying, okay? And it came through earlier to study. I'm hearing study the greats. That's the energy of it. But it came through to study that which you desire as the next thing. As the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing that you desire. Because there is nothing wrong with desiring. It's as I stated in a months and months ago previous Venus message, desire is a portal of devotion to yourself. It's a reflection of God. Okay? We are meant to be fruitful and multiply. And there's not a limit to that over our lives other than that which the limit God has placed. What God has intended is the limit. And that's vast. That's big, what God has intended. So if you're desiring, and you will, no matter what level you're at, no matter where your finances are at, no matter how many goals you reach, you will always have a desire for something more. And the something more might be extravagant to another person or simple to someone else. And it's really just about you're aligned, and so God placed that desire in your heart. And so whatever the next thing and the next thing and the next thing is, as long as it is, a desire of your heart and aligned with God and the bigger vision, study the ones who have that. Study the ones who have that which you desire. So that means that what you watch, what you read, what you consume, what you study is not going to remain the same thing as you up level, as you grow, as you evolve in your business, in your legacy. Just as it's the same as you going to the next grade in school, graduating, going to the next level, right? Studying, right? Something of the at the next level in your next grade in school. It's the same in the school of life and legacy. As soon as I finished a book that I had just listened to, and I don't usually listen to books, I read them, but I really enjoyed to listen to this one because I also enjoy the voice of this author. And her name is Emma Grede. And I finished reading her, listening to her book, and I wanted the next thing, like almost right away. I wanted the next thing almost right away. I was like literally craving, like, okay, what's the next book? What is next? I knew that it was, all right, I am aligning with this. And I know it's still, coming in. Some things are still landing that I've heard and connected to, her book. But what's the next thing? And we have Leo energy here. Again, Jupiter is moving into Leo, and Jupiter is ruling this full moon in Sagittarius. So maybe you've noticed there's such an energy of bigger picture thinking. Whatever it is that you've been doing, check in with your or subconscious habits, your daily habituals. Do a checks and balances of that, I'm hearing. That's how you tap into this strength right now. And again, realign with what's actually the desires of your heart, which Leo energy is all about the balance of the heart and the head. It's all about creating, right, that which you desire from your heart space. And so it says, be strong and honor your strength, life force, feminine power, truth. That's what this Sagittarius full moon and Jupiter is asking of you, asking of us to consider that bigger picture, that greater vision, right? That is divine, that is God, and what we have been consuming, what we have been studying, consciously or unconsciously, or a subconscious habit. I'm hearing again, habitual habits. All right, that take us away from perhaps the clarity, even if we don't realize it, of our bigger vision, of the bigger vision, that take up space in our inner reservoir, right? Without us realizing, because it's someone else's, thing, especially the people I'm hearing that we know personally or we know of, and what they are aligning with, creating and putting out into the world. That is especially where I'm hearing comparison starts to happen, or what's the term here that's coming through? Or I'm I'm hearing like self-doubt, and that's it. The imposter syndrome starts to come through. Feeling puny and small and insecure about what you're creating and launching, because there's too much of a checking in on what others are. So you need to discern here. It literally says discern what you no longer need. Judgment. Discern what you no longer need. That is keeping you from, I'm hearing like full devotion and clarity of your own bigger vision, lifestyle. All right? So you may be in a season of, and you might be for a long time, this might be a new healthy habit that you adopt for the rest of your life, is building in quiet. It doesn't mean hiding and not sharing, launching, creating, being obedient essentially to divine, to God, about your assignment. It just means doing so, in quiet. You're not talking about it so much to others publicly. You're just creating it, and they'll know about it when it's created. Yeah. The Hierophant is here. Again, there's an energy of discernment. It says protection here. Okay? It's that you are divinely protecting, intentionally, divinely protecting your legacy. And that which it takes to build it. Your inner reserves are protected. All right? So, check on where you have Sagittarius, I'm hearing to tell you, or any of the mutable signs at 9 degrees, because that is the degree of this full moon, which is, by the way, the Sagittarian degree. The number 9 is ruled by Sagittarius. But check on that in your natal chart, in your houses. So you can understand here where you are being called to discern what you no longer need. What is the area? The house is an area of your life. All right. That you will check on. All right. And see what it is that you need to let go of here. Wrap up with this full moon that's keeping you from such a clarity and consistently being anchored and aligned with your legacy. Because you are on to something. You are onto something. You have started. You have stepped out on faith and stepped forward without knowing how it's all going to come together, but you've just done it. You just took the initiative and applied for that role that you have been called to. You just started the business. You just did it, you know, and everything has started to come together. King of Pentacles. You've been mastering the things here in the physical and the material because you've just been doing it without really knowing, because that's God's job, that's divine's job, that's their role, how it's all coming together materially in the physical here, how it's gonna happen. But you've been mastering it, and that is how it happens. You step out on faith with such a certainty here, with the King of Swords, my goodness, with such a certainty, because it's rooted in your heart space. Page of Cups. It's authentic, and God shows up. Justice, divine order balances out, prevails, says, here we go. All right, now take the next step. All right, here you go. Okay? Because you do so with such a clarity, rooted in your heart. And it's supporting you in mastering the material. It's supporting you in your multiplication happening, your fruits, your harvest coming. And I feel like this is the final piece, is to proceed forward. Oh, Knight of Pentacles. It's this proceeding forward slowly but surely. It doesn't matter. It's not at the pace of, that's what it is, of who you see online, their pace, right? That they're doing their things at. This is stable. This is a legacy. This is a long-term thing you're building. All right? I tell you. This is a long-term thing you're building. I'm also being given to tell you to look at where you have Leo in your chart. All right? Look at that. The Hierophant and Judgment. Judgment didn't come out in the others. The Hierophant did. But I had it at the bottom of the other deck and showed you. It's that discernment again. It's divine order, that this is the way, that this is the flow, that this is the approach, that you move at this divine pace in silence. You build slowly and silently, and then you launch, and it's loud. And you will get your flowers. I'm hearing you will get your flowers publicly. You will. But this is so divinely ordained. This legacy, this prosperity, this lifestyle. I'm hearing also a wish come true, a dream come true. Ace of Wands, Knight of Cups, Queen of Wands. Okay? But there's something here about, like, I'm getting this analogy here of like a team, right? Who is I'm seeing like a basketball team, okay? Like the playoffs or something. And that team, you know, that coach, that He does not tell the other team, the other coach, his moves, what they're going to do. And they're also not spying. I mean, a team or coach with integrity, right? They're not spying, and they're not looking at or into what the other team and other coach is going to do or what they're doing. They're focused on being in their Leo energy. Actually, I'm getting strength in their heart space, in their passion, in their fire, and their certainty, conviction, confidence. All right? About what they're doing in their game, how they're going to play on that court, out in the public arena, right? So that is the message coming through. And I was just called to shuffle it a bit and stop. And the Six of Wands is here. Divine is saying, Goddess, woman, you will receive tenfold, hundredfold, thousandfold, meaning millionsfold. All right. The scales are balancing. Divine order is here, wanting to reward you for being in your integrity, moving like this. All right. About your legacy. Wrapping this message up with the water oracle here. And while I shuffle them, remember to look at your, I almost said 10th house. So some of you may have Leo or Sagittarius in your 10th house. But look at where Leo and Sagittarius are at in your houses. And if you don't understand how to even read all of that, unlock, the codes and activate them as it pertains to these energies, these archetypes and energies, really, tap into the Celestial Code Masterclass in the description box below. Because the way in which that occurs is that as every archetype, zodiac sign, archetype, and planet are connected to either the feminine energetic principle or the masculine energetic principle. So if you've got Sagittarius in your 10th house or Leo in your 10th house, this is the masculine energetic principle. And there will be other houses where you have the feminine energetic principle. But that is how you will unlock and activate those codes, because the feminine principles fall under receiving, fall under creating from that which it receives. It falls under flow, not force, and magnetizing, right? And the masculine falls under initiation, initiative, initiating, action-oriented, right? Logical, strategizing, all right? And you'll understand that more for your career, for your love life, and especially if you've got one of these signs or Jupiter in those areas of your chart, of your life, through the Celestial Code Masterclass. We have gratitude. Gratitude. I'm not seeing this so much as like being grateful for what you already have. I'm seeing it as, I'm hearing like, I'm grateful. God, I'm so grateful. Divine Venus, I'm so grateful for what I have already, and I'm ready for more. That's what I'm seeing. It's an acknowledgement of the bigger picture, the bigger vision, and what all is possible. That's Sagittarius Jupiter energy. I'm hearing no limits, okay? No limits. Yeah. All right. So, gratitude. Give thanks in advance. Give thanks in advance for what is coming. Not just what you already have. Desiring the more, as I was talking about before, does not mean you're not grateful for what you already have, okay? I trust the mystery of life. Again, this is that, I'm getting it as like trusting in the sacredness, the magnetism, and the honor of your being mysterious to others in what it is that you are building, creating. All right? And also the trusting in the mystery of the greatness that God and divine have intended for your life and your legacy. And the process, the, again, steady, slow, and silent process of getting to that. But I'm really seeing this, especially as trusting in the gift of you being this mystery or mysterious, all right, to others until you launch the thing. That is your message for today. Tune into the Celestial Code Masterclass and Sisters of the Stars, Ancient Archetypes and Astrological Principles below. And I will see you in the next Venus message.